Hi everybody! I am coming to you from my second favorite place in our house, and that's my kitchen. I love to create. Right now I'm on a weight loss journey and I want you all to come along with me. I've gone back to Weight Watchers, and so this week I have made 3 yummy, and I mean yummy, low-calorie, Weight Watcher friendly recipes, and I will be sharing those in this vlog with you, and I hope that you try these recipes and let me know what you think of them. So come along with me and let's lose a few pounds together. First things first, I start with this called Smart Chicken ground chicken. I absolutely love this brand. So far it has been my favorite. And then I'll be throwing in some Hatch green chili peppers, some diced tomatoes, pinto beans, black horse pepper, fancy light chili powder, some ground cumin, and of course I can't do it without the vegetables, the red bell pepper, 1 large sweet onion, a bunch of carrots. You don't have to put carrots, but it adds fiber and sweetness to it. I just like getting in more vegetables when we can, and of course lots of garlic. So stay tuned. I'm getting ready to mix up a batch of this yumminess. Okay, let me show you a little tip and trick. I don't know if you know this or not, but when you have a bell pepper and you don't want to have to cut all of this out of the way, you take a really sharp knife. Look how easy that is. And where the bumps are, you just trim it that way. And then this last one, look how easy that is and how clean that comes out. Look at this bowl of goodness. I actually used 1.5 red bell pepper, 1 huge sweet onion, and about a cup of carrots, and I chopped those up real fine, and they are going to just make the chili so delicious. But look how beautiful all that color is. You know, Americans eat with our eyes, and we certainly love our chili. Okay, I just poured maybe a tablespoon, maybe just a tiny bit more of this pure avocado oil, trying to keep things really, really healthy. And this is just one way to do it, is to use a healthy fat. I love this Lodge Dutch oven. It just, it cooks everything to perfection. I am going to saute up these vegetables until they are very tender, not cooked all the way through. So I will probably season up these vegetables before I add the meat, and we'll get them nice and tasty, and the flavors will meld through. So that'll be a great thing. Next, what I do is I just remove the vegetables when they're softened, and then I put the ground chicken in the Dutch oven, and I have seasoned the chicken as well. I'm trying not to add a lot of salt because I will be adding some beef bouillon to this to give it some, just another layer of flavor. But as you can see, the chicken isn't, of course, going to be brown like ground beef, but it cooks really well. It's very low in fat, and in my humble opinion, I think it tastes so much better than ground turkey. I just love it, and we just prefer the ground chicken even over ground beef, unless we're having a hamburger. If we're having a hamburger, you can better believe we're having a hamburger. All the vegetables and the meat are all together, and now I'm adding approximately 1 tablespoon of this Knorr bouillon. Next, I added in a 1/2 cup of the hot Hatch green chilies. We love spicy food, so if you do not like spicy food, you could just buy the mild green chilies and add that in. But these are super flavorful, and our local grocery store carries them, and I love this brand. This is all mixed together and it's already smells heavenly. I mixed in 1 can of fire roasted diced tomatoes, 28 ounces, with 14 ounces of water. And then I put in 1/4 cup of Fancy Light chili powder, and then 2 tablespoons of ground cumin, and just salt and pepper to taste. I didn't add any salt because I used the bouillon in its place, but I have added lots of black pepper to this, and I'll let this cook all day. We usually eat dinner around 7, and I'll come back throughout the day and I'll show you how things look, but it smells delicious. Hey, I'm just checking on the chili again. Everything looks great. I will be adding 1 can of pinto beans approximately 2 hours before the chili is finished. I will drain the beans and rinse them thoroughly and then add them in. We like beans in our chili in Texas, so can't wait to taste this tonight. Oh my goodness, doesn't this look delicious? And this is why I like chicken chili, because it's low in calories and so delicious on this cold winter night. Oh my goodness, you all, dinner was so delicious and so light compared to making a dinner with ground beef and a lot of fat. It just tasted amazing. Of course, my husband had crackers with his, and which is fine. I'm just trying to watch those carbs. And so anyway, I hope you enjoy the recipe. Let's talk about my next recipe, which is a 2-ingredient pizza dough that is Weight Watcher friendly. And when I tell you that this is the best pizza dough I have eaten in such a long time, I'm not kidding you. I was absolutely shocked. I had read lots of reviews on this recipe and I thought, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. So it is 1 cup of Fage non-fat Greek yogurt and 1 cup of self-rising flour. You put both of those in a bowl and you gently start mixing everything together, because if you don't, you will be wearing your flour. I promise you, it will spill out all over you and the counter at the same time. When you're mixing this, you just lightly mix it with your hands, and while it is tacky, just keep adding a little bit of flour to your hands and the stickiness will stop, and you're going to have one huge, incredible dough ball for your pizza. Next step is you're going to take the dough and you're going to divide it into 2 sections, because each dough ball makes either 1 large pizza or 2 small to medium sized pizzas. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put flour on your countertop and use a rolling pin, and you're going to roll this out very thin. And I like an irregular crust. I always think it tastes better for some reason. The edges get really crispy and toasty, which I like. Then on top of that, I sprayed a little bit of avocado oil, and then I seasoned up the dough really well with garlic powder, Italian blend seasoning, and some garlic salt. And boy, you talk about delicious. My next step was to bake the crust, and I always put it on parchment paper because I just think that it's easier cleanup, and I just like the way that the pizza crust comes out if I use the parchment paper. So I baked the crust on 425 for 12 minutes, and then I removed the crust, and then I put my toppings on top of the hot crust, and then I baked it on 425 for another 10 to 15 minutes longer, and it came out so wonderful. It was just amazing, and our house smelled just like a pizzeria. It was wonderful. My next recipe is my salsa verde shredded chicken. This is such a low calorie and Weight Watcher friendly protein that I just truly, truly love. My husband and I eat this all of the time. We put it on salads, chicken tacos, into chicken tortilla soup. We just really love the flavor of the verde sauce, which is green in Spanish. I started off with 2.5 pounds of organic chicken breast. I'm pretty finicky about my chicken, but I started with avocado oil. I sprayed the inside of my crock pot, and then I added the 2.5 pounds of the chicken breast, 2 onions. I don't like to make the onion too small when I'm making this recipe because I really want that flavor to come out in those big chunky pieces of onion, but to each their own. However you like it is fine. And then of course I put in about 2 tablespoons of the garlic. Love that. Lots of black pepper, which we like spicy, and I told you all that we do. And I also added approximately 1/2 cup of the hot green chili peppers. My next ingredient was 16 ounces of the salsa verde salsa, which is the green salsa. And I happen to like the brand that I use today, but we do live in Texas and we have a lot more variety. So any green verde sauce would be fine. Whatever you can find in your local grocery store would work. And I put that on top of the chicken mixture, the chicken and the onions, and then I just put the crock pot on low for approximately 4 to 5 hours. The secret for shredding this chicken is to use a handheld mixer. You guys, look how easy that is to shred up that chicken. It does an amazing job. I have to tell you, this chicken was super flavorful, and I do believe that adding in those Hatch green chilies just ramped up this recipe a little bit, with virtually 0 calories added into it and definitely 0 points. So we really enjoyed our chicken tacos that evening. Of course, I use the Carb Balance tortillas. I love those. Since I've been on this journey, I'm going to stick with the Carb Balance tortillas. They're one smart point. They're so delicious. And I don't mind the low-fat shredded cheese. That's also good. I made up a little bit of homemade guacamole. Put a couple tablespoons on mine, and that was so flavorful. A little bit of salsa, and we were good to go. And I had 12 of the bite-sized tortilla chips. Loved my dinner, and I hope you'll enjoy this recipe too. Hi everybody, I just want to wrap up this cooking video for you. I hope you enjoy these recipes. They are super simple to do, and anybody can get in the kitchen and create these low calorie, some of them are low carb recipes, not all, but that's okay. I'm not on a low carb diet. I'm on Weight Watchers and I'm down 13 pounds. I'm so proud of myself. I had gained about 10 through the pandemic, and so I've gotten those 10 off, and now I'm on a journey to get more off. But it's all about healthy living for me, and I love to cook. I love to entertain. So come along on the journey and let's do this together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.